That's it. Welcome back to the School of Wok channel. I am Chef Ian from School of Wok.
I'm Chef Lance from School of Wok.
And here we are together, back on the channel. Today, we're going to do some Hat Yai fried chicken. It's a Thai style fried chicken, but we're going to serve it in a little steamed bun. So Lance, we're going to start by preparing our wet ingredients. So we've got some warm water, some milk, which is going to give us our flavour, a little bit of vegetable oil, and our yeast. So if you wouldn't mind just combining those together. And while Lance is doing that, I'm going to explain what we've got in here. So this is our low-gluten bao flour. We've got a little bit of sugar as well, some baking powder, which is going to help the rise, and a little bit of salt for flavour. We're going to give this a stir.
How are we going to stir?
How are we going to stir?
I got 10 fingers.
And we'll just let that sit for 5-10 minutes so that the yeast will bloom. So Lance, I'm going to do the mixing, if you don't mind gradually incorporating our wet mix in. Just do this gradually. We just want all of the moisture to be absorbed into the dough. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
So what we have is a nice clean bowl. Lance, I'm going to hand it to you to give that a good knead. So just 5 minutes of kneading until you get something that is nice and smooth. Oh, Lance, fantastic.
How's it feeling here?
Yeah, really nice. Really soft, really smooth. So we're going to let that rest for about 5 minutes. We'll come back, a little bit more kneading just to smooth it out, and then we'll let it rest until it doubles in size. I have a personal question for you.
Yeah?
How hydrated do you like your bao to be?
I quite like it soft and moist.
Soft and moist. You can't just throw moist at me like that. You've got to prepare me for moist. Yes, I agree. Soft. So this dough is about 55%. So an easy way to remember that is if you have 100 grams of flour, it's 55 grams of water and milk together. So that's our dough. It's had a little bit more time to knead. It's really smooth, soft. We're going to now leave it to rest. So the way we'll do this, Lance, if I put that in there, in a little bit of vegetable oil here, which will just prevent the dough from drying out. Just going to cover it in the oil. If you would use your superior cling wrap skills.
I am pretty good at using cling wrap.
I've got better in this job.
Yeah?
Before I was an absolute cling film idiot. So next thing we're going to make is the marinade for our fried chicken. So we have a really classic sort of Thai combination here. White peppercorns, we have garlic, and we have our coriander root. So Lance, I'm going to ask you first and foremost to give those a little toast for me.
No problem, yeah.
Just until fragrant.
On a medium heat?
On a nice gentle medium. And while you're doing that, I'm going to peel some garlic. So this recipe actually came about. We don't often do sort of extracurricular stuff at the school, but we were recently doing an event for charity, and we designed a little menu for it. And I knew that I really wanted to do the Hat Yai fried chicken, but I was thinking, how do you make that finger food without giving someone a great sort of chicken thigh to gnaw on? And I thought that a little steamed bun would be the perfect little parcel to deliver our fried chicken to the people.
What do you reckon, Ian?
Yeah, very nice. Lightly toasted, smelling great. So Lance, we're going to get you to put those in there for me, if you wouldn't mind. And I'm going to use a grinding motion to get these broken down.
Whoa,
whoa, that's
smoky.
So Lance, one of the questions we get a lot in the school.
Yeah.
What's the difference between white and black pepper?
White pepper is really good for things like marinades and soup.
Has a very different flavour for me. Like black pepper is very like earthy and harsh, whereas white pepper is like a little bit more floral. I can get like a different flavour from it. We're going to start by breaking down some garlic. So Lance, if you wouldn't mind.
No problem.
I'm going to give the coriander root a little bit of a chop, but we'll use the whole thing. Nothing goes to waste here. Cool. Okay. Doesn't need to be super smooth, Lance. We just want something that's like a rough paste, if that's okay. So we're going to add in a couple of teaspoons of the white pepper. A few more seconds, Lance, on that, just to mix through the white pepper. While Lance is doing that, I'm just going to take our chicken thigh. So this is boneless, but we've still kept the skin on. Optional, you can remove the skin, but I think the skin gives it a little bit extra fat, texture, fat, crisp, all those good things. And I'm just thinking now about the size of my bun. So maybe, Lance, I'm thinking like quarters is probably about right. And really, once we've got all this back in, we can start to build our marinade. Okay, we'll start with the palm sugar first, Lance, if you wouldn't mind. And the paste in with the chicken. And obviously this is something you need to bear in mind later, because when you're deep frying it, your marinade has got sugar in it. So you want to keep that in mind. You need to make sure that your oil isn't too hot when you start, because the sugar's going to burn before you've had time to cook your chicken and crisp up your batter as well. So we're going to start at a kind of nice, gentle temperature, about sort of 160, 170, and cook for a bit longer. That's great. So I'm just going to start to massage this through the chicken. And then, Lance, we can start to incorporate the fish sauce and soy sauce as well, if you wouldn't mind. 2 in 1. I'm using both because I think they both bring slightly different things in terms of flavour. So like, obviously they're both salty, both funky, both fermented. There's a little bit more of a kind of like rounded flavour from the soy sauce, and a little bit more of like that fishy, salty hit from the fish sauce. So you could just use one. I like to use both. The kind of beauty of this dish is that the marinade becomes the coating as well.
Where we use rice flour?
We're using the rice flour because it's going to go really crisp when we fry it. Did you know, Lance, that a lot of fish and chip shops in the UK use rice flour in their batter?
Oh,
because it gives it that crispy edge. My partner is celiac, so we're always on the lookout for gluten-free fish and chips. There's a lot of fish and chip shops that happen to be gluten-free because they just use rice flour in the batter. So we're just going to dribble a bit of this in till we get like a kind of wet batter around the chicken. And you want it to just be like thick enough to kind of cling to the chicken. See how the batter is just kind of clinging, coating the chicken. So we'll let this marinade now, basically until our bao is ready. And then we'll fry.
Nice.
Okay, we're going to prove to everyone just how easy it is to shape these bao. First things first, we're just going to give it a weigh. You can see the dough has risen, pretty much doubled in size. It's really nice and light, and yeah, it smells really tasty. So what have we got? 427. I'm going to roll this out so it's roughly even in shape. And we're looking for about 80 grams per bun. Well short. Well short. No way.
80.
No way. Incredible. Next step we're going to do is our pinchy, twisty, twisty. If you've seen Jeremy make a bao on the channel, you'll be familiar with the phrase. It's a tricky thing to get your head around, but it's 3 simple steps. You press in with your thumb, you pinch the dough back over the top, and you give it a little twist to turn. So press, pinch, twist, press, pinch, twist. Eventually what will happen is your pinch and twist will kind of become the same motion. And you will just move it round a few times until it shapes itself into a round ball. It's a bit like salsa dancing. It's easier not to think of all the steps as you're doing it. It's easier to just go with the music. Are you any good at salsa dancing, Lance?
No. We're doing tangos now.
Terrible. I was so terrible. It's like step and go that way.
That's Nick.
Let's stick to bao. Guys, what this is doing is it's giving you a really nice smooth round dough to work with. So a lot of people ask, can I just kind of roll it together with my hands? You're getting a round shape, but you can still see all of these kind of like folds and edges in the bao. If you want it really nice and smooth, it's press, pinch, twist. Okay.
Do you want to make a small one?
Let's make a tiny one. Okay. So you're just rolling forward and back, leaving a little lip here on each end, and then just drop or 2 of oil on the inside. And that oil will just stop the bun from kind of reincorporating itself into one thing later, and it'll mean that you can open your bao and put the filling inside. They'll benefit from having a little prove. And the way we usually do this is you can put them inside the steamer that you're going to steam the bao in, put them over the pot of water that you're going to use to steam them, but just keep the temperature really low. Let them sit for 15-20 minutes, they'll just relax, they'll puff up a little bit, and it'll give you that really nice rise to your bun as it steams. So they're going into the steamer basket, and I just leave a little gap between them because they will kind of Lovely action, Lance. They will kind of. Okay, so we're there. 170, we're ready to fry. Thank you, Lance.
See?
And as always with deep frying, you want to be really careful. It's a really gentle in and lay away, okay?
Best sound in the world.
It's the best sound in the world. So like I said earlier, Lance, the important thing here is that we don't want it to be too hot when we go in, because we don't want that sugar to burn before it comes out. Okay, so these have had about 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to drain. We'll let them cool a bit. And then we're going to go in for a second fry as well. So we're at 190, we're going to go in for our second fry. Just 2 or 3 minutes to really crisp it up. How do you, Lance, feel about an air fryer?
I used it for like 3 months, and then I sold it on eBay.
To hold it?
Maybe just the one I got is too small,
Sure.
and I always like a big tub of fries.
Yeah. For the longest time, I was anti-air fryer,
Yeah.
and me and Lily were deciding whether we were going to get an air fryer or a rice cooker. Obviously, we ended up with an air fryer, which is what she wanted. But I have been converted. I do like it. I like the convenience of it.
Yeah.
I do think it does potatoes well, and just the time it takes to heat up the oven as well.
Oh yeah.
And we did eventually get a rice cooker as well, so I'm happy. I'm happy. I remember that. It was
That's our finger foods.
20 grams. It was a little. Oh well. Well, it's too late now. So the whole way through this recipe, I felt like something was really off, Lance.
Yeah.
I said 80
the
gram per bun. And I actually remember when we did this event, it was 20 grams per bun. So these are actually 4 times the size than they were on the night. But it's fine. We're going to go for a single serving lunch style bao as opposed to a finger food. Yeah. Because
That can be a finger food.
who's making finger food at home during the week?
I know.
This is, but you want it to be finger food, divide the weight of each bun by 4. By 4? Yeah.
By 4, yeah.
Maths, not my strong suit. Lance,
Yeah.
for God's sake, let's finish this recipe.
This one's perfect, you know?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. The small one is the one. Lance, you can arrange the bao on there for me,
Yeah.
please. Final stages, Lance.
Yeah.
Is we're just going to toss a little bit of the chicken through with a little bit of sweet chili sauce, just to glaze it.
Nice.
And then it's ready to go into our buns. Throw a little bit of sweet chili in. Toss it all through. Okay, that's it. So if you can start with a couple of pickles on the bottom.
Okay.
Thank you, Lance. And I'm going to go in with a little bit of chicken. And then, Lance, if you wouldn't mind, final touches, a little bit of crispy shallots.
High or low?
Always high, please,
Always
Lance. We're showing off. Okay. Traditionally, you'll find Hat Yai Thai style fried chicken served with sticky rice, sweet chili sauce, and the crispy shallots. That's why we're adding them as garnish. And please, Lance, a little bit of coriander for garnish over the top. You can do the coriander low if you want.
Okay.
Because I'd like it placed. And there we have it, our Thai style fried chicken in a steamed bun with our crunchy cucumber and daikon pickle. Let's have a try. So half each of one of these giant buns. Cheers, Lance. Thanks for your help.
Thank you, Ian. Delicious.
Why did we both do that like we've never eaten food before?
Soft and moist.
Guys, make them big, make them small, make them any size you want, but you've got to give these a try.